Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. We welcome you for our online session Ekalavya Academy. Today's chapter is Mineral and Power Resources. It's not new for you. Already I have taught you the part 1 which dealt about the introduction of minerals and the various types and kinds. Today we are going to extend the topic with the concepts of extraction of minerals and what are the concepts in this are mining and the types of mining. And the next content is about the distribution, and also we are going to deal about the uses as well as the conservation. So these are the content what I have highlighted. Now here the definition of mining is very important. As you know that yesterday in the part 1 what I had dealt was the introduction of minerals, which is very important for any country in this present world. For example, India after the independence, it concentrated on the industrial development. So the minerals became an important source for the development of industries. And then onwards, we started concentrating on extracting minerals and usages. Now we are going to think more about the importance of minerals as I had highlighted in the part 1. Now this importance of minerals is not only in the usage of industrial process but also in our body itself to activate. But how these minerals had come been taught in the part 1. But for a quick recap, I am going to bring about how the minerals are formed. The minerals are not formed due to the human activities. It is not at all the interference of human. Human role is zero here, though the human beings are intelligent. Actually, the minerals deposition is taking place by the natural calamity. It is the geo-composition, that is a chemical composition that is formed naturally. So it's indefinite natural process that leads to the formation of this mineral deposition. And the variety of minerals are based upon the conditions of environment and soil. Now you can see this minerals have become very important, as I said. Now how these minerals are being extracted, we are going to see today. So first of all, we are going to see about the mining process. Now mining is very important to learn. It's defined as the process of taking out minerals from rocks buried under the earth's surface is called mining. Now it says that the minerals are deposited in rocks. So the rocks are the whole structure from which we take the minerals, and it is the ore. So the source is rocks. So it's naturally formed, and it took millions of years for its formation. Now we have the importance of minerals in our daily life, so we started extracting. So mining became an important function. So how this mining is classified, we are going to see. So extraction of minerals, you can see that there are types of mining, and open cast mining and shaft mining are the two types of mining. We are going to see in detail. So types of mining in detail, we can see that open cast mining is the type of mining where minerals that are lie at shallow depths are taken out by removing the surface layer is called open cast mining. Now this is the earth where the minerals are deposited, and here the layers of the soil are removed and made as a pit. So this is very near to the surface. So it is not much expensive, and it is easy for extracting minerals. The next type is shaft mining. Shaft mining is depending on the depth, because the minerals are in the deep rocks under the earth. So it's deeper. So you have to drill out. And so the way it is, now this is the earth. So here you can see the deposition. The open pit is on the surface, but this is beneath the earth. So very depth. So it is too expensive. So it is extracted through bores called shafts, have to be made to reach mineral deposits. So it is under the great depths. Now these are the pictures you can just look upon, and they are the types. Now the open pit mining is this, you can see. So this is the open pit mining, where you can see the depth, not much. It is the layers that are removed and it is being extracted. But you can see the shaft mining is underground. It is done through your bore. So this is the example. You can see that it's very expensive method. And here the examples like diamonds and iron ore are extracted. So now you can see that next topic that you are going to concentrate is distribution. So distribution the distribution of minerals, very important topic that you are going to see. Now minerals occur in different types of rocks. Some are called igneous rocks and some in metamorphic and some in sedimentary. Now we are going to see how the rocks give different kinds of minerals. Now for example, igneous rocks, if you take, it is being deposited through volcanic eruption. So in India you can see in the Deccan Trap, this igneous rocks are deposited, are formed, and they give the minerals like iron. So when you take the iron, if you can see the large deposits of iron are there in India. And one of the greatest supply of iron is by India, and China is the other leading producer of iron. Now Russia is the leading in the iron, good quality of iron, you can see. So sedimentary rocks gives fossil fuel. So we are going to deal more on the distribution of minerals in various parts of the world as well as India. Now you can see that continent-wise distribution of minerals. So for example, Asia, you can concentrate on China and India, leading producers of iron and tin. You can see Malaysia, Indonesia, or other countries who are the leading producers of iron, tin. Indonesia and Malaysia, again I said, they are the world's half tin is produced by them. And in Europe, the deposits of iron ore, Russia is a leading producer, Ukraine, Sweden and France. And in mineral deposits of copper, you can see that they are also from the Eastern Europe and Russia. zinc, manganese and nickel are the other minerals. Now you have to know that iron is so important. Iron was introduced in India by the Aryan race, and then we started using it because it's such a hard material that helps us to take as an important mineral and make out of it as metals that are bulky, which are used in the constructive areas and to make the transport, etc. So iron is being used a lot. Now next you can see about the copper. Copper is very important. It is utilized due to its good conductivity of electricity. So it has become such an important usage. Next, if you see North America, again in North America, Canada, you can say that iron ore, nickel, gold, all are deposited in high manner, and Western Cordilleras, copper, lead. Then if you come back to the South American continent, Brazil, iron is high deposited, copper, you can see Chile and Peru, and South America you can see gold, silver, diamond. Here I wanted to insist upon African deposition of gold, where they use gold for electric goods or the connectivity, etc. And in India, Rajasthan is the highest producer of copper. So you can see mineral deposition oil, Venezuela, Chile, Peru and Colombia. So already I have highlighted about Africa for its gold. Now diamond is another very expensive mineral. Is being extracted highly in Africa. It's deposited there, and next gold and platinum. All expensive minerals are available in Africa. Next, Australia. Australia highlights for the largest producer in bauxite. Bauxite aluminium is being made, from aluminium you make pin to aeroplane. So how important aluminium is, you have to understand. So Australia is a leading producer, and diamond too, and iron ore, tin, etc. So Antarctica is not being occupied by the human beings, but such a rich iron ore depositions are there in Antarctica. Gold and other commercial quantities are available. But we have to see that human beings are so selfish in their approach that they keep extracting high manner, and they are depleting day by day. You know that these minerals are non-renewable. Already in the first chapter you have learned that under the various classification, the basis called renewability, and minerals are nothing but non-renewable. They don't replenish because we keep using, and they are being formed by nature. We are not playing any important role for their supply, and it is a nature process and it is limited. So we have to think about the greediness of human beings, which has to be reduced. Next, you can see the world map where the distributions are denoted with the chemical symbols. You can see zinc, for example, Zn. You can see wherever the Zn is being applied here is the deposition of zinc area. Then Mg is for mercury, nickel is Ni, and you can see ferrous, that Fe, iron ore, and Pb is for lead. So these all are highlighted with the chemical symbols. So wherever it is highlighted, they are the producer of such metals by these countries. So uses of minerals. Now again here it's very important how they are useful. Now minerals are used in many industries. As I said, they have become the backbone of Indian economy and any other industrial countries of the world. And it has become such an important because it has provided a lot of job opportunities and development and expansion of economy. Now minerals are used in gems also to manufacture gems, and copper again I have highlighted that so important malleable product. It is made from coins to pipes, such an important copper, and Rajasthan was given as an example. Silicon is used in the computer industry, is obtained from the quartz, and aluminum again very important. It has become an important metal which is helpful in manufacturing paint to aeroplanes. Now I want to again make a highlight here that how Africa is so important in diamond. Diamond actually you must know that how important mineral it is. Diamond, you have to see that it is black in color. And it is being polished and made as a lustrous and very expensive. So you have to learn that diamond is such a precious mineral, and it is helpful for us to earn a lot of earnings out of it. Now rock formation, you can see that rock is an ore from where the minerals are extracted, and the uses particular rock forming, you can give out the rock as an important for its copper deposition, and here its uses are for the electrical cables. As I said, in Africa they use gold because plenty of gold is available, but most common use is copper for it because it's good conductivity of electricity and it's cheap. So you can see that it is being utilized in the wires, switches, electronic components, etc. And just now I just highlighted diamond with African example that used in tools and drilling bits to cut rock and small stone. And feldspar used in glass and ceramics industry. You know that tiles being made to beautify the floorings, so ceramics have become very important industry. So how these minerals have become important in expansion of industry, you have come to know. And gold, as usual, it's very important for women. They are fond of wearing jewelry, so it has become very expensive metal, and it is utilized by the women around the world, and it is in great in demand. And same way, the reserves of gold is minted by the rich countries, and it shows the richness of the countries for its reserves. So conservation is another topic of minerals. Now conservation has become an important thing for the world around because minerals, you know, it is non-renewable. It has to be judiciously used. So how are we going to concentrate on using these minerals and saving it for the future? So minerals are non-renewable, as I said. It doesn't supply after it's been used. It doesn't supply as the non-renewable renewable resources like sunlight, energy, or tidal energy, etc. So the rate of formation is much smaller than the rate of humus consumes these minerals, and it is necessary to reduce the wastage. So we should not waste the minerals. We have to use it in a judicious manner, and we have to keep for the future generation because we are borrowing from the future generation. We have not given, we have not brought anything. It is being provided by the nature. So we have to keep for the future generation. And so the 3 R's are important for conserving these minerals. So recycling is the important method that is being followed by many countries. Through, you can see one example that good quality of plastics are used for manufacturing and recycling them, but not wasting them, for producing and keep maintaining them and not wasting them. So recycling is one method which makes the resources conserved. So these are the three methods: reuse, reduce and recycle. Now we can see that how reduce is meant. You have to limitize your usage of minerals. How are we going to do? Through alternative. What is the alternative source? You can take other energies that can be utilized, that are renewable, like solar power. Solar power, though it is expensive for the present generation, it will be cheap in the cheaper one in the future, and we have to try to utilize them in keeping the other minerals saved. Now that is one example for reduce. And reuse, you can see that bottles, for example, they can be used for pickles. You need not waste them by just dumping it out. You can reuse them for other purpose. And recycling, I have already given plastic as an example, that can reduce all kinds of minerals in same manner, which need not hazard the environment, but you can keep maintaining them and not wasting the minerals. So I have to conclude my points saying that the large deposits available are uneven. It concentrates in particular area, particular climate, and this makes the people uneven in their economic status. And some countries, they have large deposits, but they don't have money to extract. For example, Africa. They have large deposits of diamond, gold, but they are not able to extract them and develop them. So India, if you take, we don't have that high kind of methods to extract the minerals. We have to improve in that area. But we have large deposits in certain areas like Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, where the minerals are highly deposited and we are utilizing. And another thing you have to concentrate here is iron has hematite, the highest quality of iron, which are very helpful in good quality of iron utilized in industries. So here I conclude saying that you keep waiting for the part 3, where we are going to concentrate on various other kinds of concepts for the power resources, that your forthcoming part 3 video, and keep being safe at home. Thank you.